Welcome. I've been crying the entire time, Lauren. It's like the roles have reversed, Lauren. Oh, bless rising family, bless rising. Yes, welcome to the clubhouse. Welcome to Love Exploration. What'd you say, Lauren?
I don't know if they reverse. You might just give me a little comp, but I don't know. We just gonna do it together.
Ache, baby, Ache. Family, welcome to our Love and Liberation closed for motherfucking business, yo. Today we are closed. Today we are closed to those who have caused us pain. We are closed to the traumas of our past. We are closed to all of the intergenerational, ancestral trauma that we inherited, that we did not ask for, but is all part of our birthright too. We are closed. We are closed to the things that are disrupting our peace. We are closed to the things that have not allowed us to progress, to move. We are closed to the bullshit. We are closed to the fuckery. We are closed to the lies. We are closed to jealousy. We are closed to envy. We are closed to any low vibrational emotion and feeling that we are holding in our hearts. We are closed. We are closed to all the things that aren't lifting us and closed to the things that are not in alignment with what we are meant to do and who we are meant to be. I'm going to try to keep my ADD under control during this meditation because my thoughts are everywhere. The first thing I am really emotional about and thinking about is that this month marks my 6th year. I am 6 years old in Lukumi, La Regla de Ocha. I am 10 years in the religion, but 6 years an initiated priestess. It would be 6 years ago this month that I was preparing to go on a quest, on a spiritual quest, on a spiritual journey. And I had no idea what that was going to look like, no idea what that was going to feel like, but I knew that I needed to go and I knew that it was time. I remember I created a Amazon Iyawo. The year in white. My year in white was called an Iyaworahe. My Iyaworahe. I was called a Yabo, and a Yawo is the bride of the Orisha. When you are initiated, you become the bride. So I am crowned, meaning I have a crown on my crown. I have been anointed legitimate daughter of Ogun, Ache, the god of iron, the god of technology, the God of all industries, everything that is metal, every building, every structure, every car, every plane, every train, every car, and every way you move, you are riding with Ogun. There is nothing that we have that is not Ogun. And he's the God of work, fucking hard work. Ogun isolated himself into the woods as a castigo. He punished himself for a mistake that he made when he saw this beautiful woman, this beautiful goddess, and he lusted after her, and he went after her, and it turned out that it was his mother. He was going to violate his mother, but he didn't know. And I forget which Orisha is the one that ran to him and said, "No, what are you doing? Yo, that's your mom. Te estás volviendo loco." And homie took off into the woods and did not come out and dedicated his life to work, just work. And I feel so honored every day to be his daughter, to have been chosen by him to walk this path, a path that is not easy. It is not easy to wake up every day knowing, yo, I have a fucking mission and I have a purpose and I'm going to move and I'm going to move and I'm going to move toward it, even on the days where I don't want to move, even on the days where, I have all kinds of pains in my back or my hip and now a fractured foot. I'm going to move, I'm going to build, I'm going to create. But on a month like this, I was preparing to go on this voyage, a year in white, an incredible sacrifice. My life was not going to be the same. There were a lot of things that I had to give up in order to be there. So one of the things that I did was I created an Amazon list for the things that I needed because I'd be wearing white all year. And there's a woman, someone who was in my circle, que se atrevió, who dared to send me a text message and say, oh, because I also was doing a crowdfunding, a fundraiser for the trip, for this spiritual trip, because at the time I wasn't working, I was struggling, but I knew that that this was a step that I needed to make. And so this person who was once a sister friend, um, daughter of Yemaya, because it has to be said, had the audacity to send me a text message as I was preparing for my voyage to tell me that I was a disgrace to the Orisha and a disgrace to Egun, that how dare I, and a whole slew of other things were in this text that were so, like, came out of nowhere. Like, nobody asked this person to message me, but this person felt like it was her divine right to send me a message to check me and let me know that what I had done was wrong. And I remember calling Leo, those of you who know Leo, my godfather, and I told him that I read it to him. I said, this person said this. And he said he was on, I remember him being on set for a novela, a soap opera that he was on set filming on location. And I interrupted him, videoed, and I was crying and I was like, Padrino, and I was in tears and I was hyperventilating and I was like, oh my God, I would never want to disgrace my Orisha. I would never want to shame, right? And he was like, mi ahijada, goddaughter, I need you to breathe. I need you to slow down. He's like, I need you to slow down. He's like, first of all, dígale que no. Dígale que no. That daughter of Yemaya, tell her no. How dare she? He said, first of all, let me let you know that back in the day, when someone was being prepared for Santo, oftentimes they would have different people in the community donate. They would bring the food for el Dia del Medio. They would be the ones that would buy the Yawo clothes. They would be, so the fact that this hija de Yamaya thought that she could write you and shame you about your process and asking your community for help and support, knowing full well that what you were going to receive, the blessings you were going to receive, the gifts you were going to receive would serve that very community. How dare she? I came down from that moment that was incredibly traumatic and violent, and I continued to get ready. And slowly I had friends, dear friends by me, all of the herramientas. Like, I will never forget, like, all of those people that like sent me a dress, a white dress, or pajamas, or the actual herramientas, the tools, the things that are used for your santo. And I was ready. I got ready. I got ready. I didn't raise all the money for it, but the money came because the universe fucking provides. Period. When you're good and when you're doing good works and when you just move in the direction of what you're here to do, you got to be closed to all the bullshit and the fuckery that tries to touch you, that tries to taint you, that tries to stop you, that tries to block you. And a few weeks later, in that beautiful month of June, I arrived to Cuba. I arrived to Havana, and my entire spiritual family was there, and everyone was getting ready. And I went through the ceremonies prior to the ceremony. I had different, so I was initiated in one African tradition before I was initiated into this one. My ancestors gave me the green light with blessings. All of the divination that I had done prior to that moment confirmed that I was on the correct journey for me and that it was full steam ahead, baby. And I would get crowned. And it would not be easy. Like the fact that, maybe some of you are interested in this religion or other, modalities, and an initiation is initiation, whether it's initiation as a yoga practitioner, a reiki master, indigenous traditions and practices. Initiations are initiations, and many of us are in a process of initiation, and part of that process is being closed. So what did this year look like? No one could touch me. No one could hug me. No one could see me. I have no photographs in the years 2016 and 2017. It was an incredible sacrifice that I was so honored to make, where I wore white for over 365 days, humbly and with so much grace, happy to do it. Even though there was one day where I was ready to throw on my Converse and my jeans and my kicks. And so we must be closed. We must be closed. This process, this journey that we're in, and the initiations and the ceremonies will not be the same. I pray that you will never suffer the kind of pain and trauma that I've known. I pray that, you know, while for me this feels like a last session, right? A last meditation together. It's not our last forever, but it is our last as we know it. Because I feel the death coming. I feel the death coming. I feel the death that is necessary for me to begin to prepare for entering the 6th year as a priestess, as a santera. And what that means for me, what that means for us. And so, family, we are closed for business. This morning, I closed my La Santera shop. I will be officially closing the page on June 29th, and allowing myself to be reborn into what Ogun and my Egun wish and desire for me. As Lauren was breathing into us and breathing with us and guiding us in breath, I pulled some cards from my Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. And the first card I pulled was Seer. See beyond the current situation. We are being called to see beyond where we are. We are being called to raise our vibration and focus on love. And here is what the writer wrote in the divination. Most indigenous peoples have a seer in the family or tribe. Seers are the intelligent and intuitive beings who serve a direct channel, serve as direct channels for transformation, for information, for what's occurring now and what's about to unfold. The energy isn't about predicting future. It's about showing you how your intentions are creating it. I pull these cards for me and I share them with you. I am a seer. I know that's why I'm crying. I'm crying for me, but I'm crying for us because I feel like I've given birth to something really beautiful and really amazing. And those babies are about to fucking take off. And I know that they have all of the tools in their arsenal for this next place. And then the second card that I pulled was the Fire Guardian. Ignite your passions. Connect with your desires. Connect to what sparks lead you to something beautiful. The Fire Guardian represents the angels of fire. This Leo receives the message. Fire is energy. We should not fear it. Listen, it's a very clear message. We are about to set shit aflame. And then during Lauren's meditation, when she was meditating on the water, and I flipped the card right before she said it, the water guardian shows up. Connect with your emotions. Understand how you really feel. Know that your sensitivity is not a curse, but a gift that allows you to receive and understand the messages directly from your soul. And so, family, I love you. I know we have lots to talk about, so I'm going to stay on and we're going to all share. But while we get ready for that, we're going to close this meditation as we always do with a little reflection from the Acts of Faith, meditations for people of color. And we are starting with June 9th. If rain doesn't fall, corn does not grow. Yoruba proverb. Every farmer knows a good hard rain is needed to make a healthy crop. It will strengthen the roots, fatten the stalks, and produce a healthy yield. A responsible farmer prepares for rain. He prepares the field by clearing away all remnants of past crops. He plows the field so the rainwater can run off. He carefully guards his crop to keep away the birds and insects. Through it all, he has faith in his ability as a farmer. Watch it. Knowing he is doing all that he can, our lives are much like a field of corn. Our challenges are the rain. We don't mind planting the seeds, working the field, or planning for the harvest, but we have a tendency to complain about the rain. If we focus our mind on the goals, we are putting on our raincoat and boots. If we cleanse ourselves of negative emotions, we are covered by an umbrella of strength. If we keep faith in ourselves, regardless of what others say, we have all we need to weather the storm. And the closing affirmation is: the harvest I reap is measured by the attitudes I cultivate. And the reflection: how do you prepare for the rain in your life? Do you wear a raincoat or carry an umbrella? And why? And June 10th, if you fall, fall on your back. If you can look up, you can get up. Les Brown. When was the last time you watched a toddler learning to walk? They take a few steps and fall. They get up and try again. Sometimes they bump their heads, bust their lips, and pull things down onto their heads, no matter. They keep falling and getting up until one day they make it clear across the room. How did we lose that fierce tenacity to make it no matter what? Most of us consider ourselves much more capable than a toothless toddler, yet they seem to have something we don't. Toddlers seem to know that it's okay to fall. They are always willing to roll over, get up, and try it again. A toddler who stumbles doesn't always fall. Stumbling actually moves them ahead faster. Toddlers will grab anyone or anything until they get their balance. When they do, they let go and move on. They don't seem to care how awkward they look, whether or not people laugh at them, or how many times they fall. They do it over and over until they get it right. Isn't it funny that those of us who know how to walk are always afraid to fall? And the closing affirmation is I am willing to do whatever it takes. And the prompt at the end is how do you compare with a toddler learning to walk? What do you do when you stumble or fall? Family, the floor is yours.